45 years of building. That's what I've been doing. This is a passion of mine. Hot rods, street rods, vintage modified restoration. Been doing it all. Since I was 14, this has been just something I've wanted to do my whole life. Getting into crossover cars, chassis restoration, hot rod chassis building. What can I say? This is what I do. I love this. It goes on and on for years. People have come to me, I built stuff. They give me this crazy idea what I want to build, what they want built. Other people say they can't do it. I do it for them the best I can, and they seem to be happy to keep coming back. Speaking of crazy ideas, we're working on this 60 Falcon. We're building it into a drift car. We pretty much cut all the ugly away. Our intentions are to build it like a late model stock car from the late 60s, early 70s. We're going to use a Camaro front stub. We're going to put a Franklin quick change rear end in it. Speed up the steering a little, do some work with the Ackerman. Pretty much build a complete floor pan. As you see now, it's pretty flimsy. We got a lot of structure to build into the car. Re-radius the wheel wells. We want to drop the suspension so the wheel well is up here. We want to get it really super low. A lot of horsepower. We've got a 3-to-3 stroker we're going to put in it with a 4-speed. We've got wide 5 wheels, something that most people don't see too often. And a street car. We're going to build a race car that we can actually run on the street. It's going to be something kind of cutting edge for this area here. So that's our intention, to take the ugly and make it cool.
I grew up in a junkyard in central Arkansas, and I spent my whole entire life as a youngster building hot rods, racing cars. I went undefeated in drag racing in the mud with big black trucks. I moved up here to Wisconsin a couple years ago and met Terry, and met him down at the ice cream shop right down the road from my house. And I knew he was building hot rods because I'd seen his door open. I'd seen some of his cool stuff, and so I decided to introduce myself. Paid him actually to do some work on my car, but since then I've been in here pretty regularly and been helping out a little bit around the shop, having quite a bit of fun. Let me tell you a little bit about the Falcon. This Falcon was actually a drag car when we started off. It was a 60s gasser, and it was all jacked up in the front, had an Econoline straight axle front end, and had the leaf springs welded into the unibody frame. And believe it or not, this thing had a 440 Chrysler engine with a pistol grip 4-speed, and assuming a Dana 60 rear end, but we're not quite sure. This thing was tubbed out, and the car's been around the block a little bit here in Wisconsin. The guy that we got this from, he had it in his machine shop, kind of standing up on one end, and the car had been totally stripped and gutted. There was no more engine in it, just the front suspension as you've seen in the other parts of the videos, and the floor was just completely gone. No tubs, no race parts, no nothing.
When Terry and I went to pick this car up, I thought, what in the world is he going to be doing with this thing? Because it really looked rough. But the work that's been done on it right now, it's really starting to look like something. There's nothing in the area like it. It'll be definitely a one of a kind, and I think it'll be really fun to drive. It's going to turn some heads. My first hot rod was a 1937 Chevy Coupe that I got when I was 16, 17 years old. After that, it was various cars that we had fun with, toyed with, played with, modified. That's what it's been for years between Terry and I. It's just taking stuff that nobody wants, and we'll just make it into what we want.
This is the 383 stroker we're going to be using, tri-power, 4-speed transmission. Pretty fresh motor, should be a good power plant for that car. We were racking our brain for the past week or so on what we're going to call the Falcon. We thought a Millennium Falcon, and we just didn't know what to call it. Walked through here the other day looking at the movie posters. Couldn't believe it. Bogart, Astor, the Maltese Falcon. What better? Excellent. What do you think, folks? I like it. It's going to be a keeper.
This is the 4-bar that's going in the back of the Falcon. There's another one that goes on the other side, the 4 bars, because there's 2 on one side, 2 on the other. This gets attached to the cross member on the front, and then this gets bolted to the rear axle whenever we get the mounts welded to the tubes.
We're planning on using Wilwood hubs, screw-on snouts with Impala spindles, heavy disc brake rotors. I believe these are Wilwood or aftermarket brake rotors also. We're going to put these Impala spindles, they come like this right from the factory. We take this snout, which the Wilwood hub fits on, and they thread right onto the stock spindle. It's kind of a trick setup.
Thanks for watching the premiere episode of OddrodzTV. Please like and subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at OddrodzTV.